Warner Brothers Discovery has dismissed Paramount Skydance's latest hostile takeover, once again urging its shareholders to reject the bid, saying it provides insufficient value and carries too much risk. The board reiterated its preference for a competing deal involving Netflix, which it believes offers greater certainty and value for investors, even as Paramount sweetened its approach with higher guarantees and fees. We have Oluseye Abogunrin, associate at Trudo Legal, to let us into some of the details on the deal, and again proving that money is not everything, right? It's not just about the money. Let us into the difference between the two deals that were brought to the table.
Thank you for having me. Firstly, I think Netflix has presented what has been described as a cleaner financial structure to Warner Brothers, and this is what it means. Netflix is offering to buy the shares of Warner Brothers, pay some of its debts, and also offer some of the shareholders shares in its company, that is shares in Netflix. So that kind of this dynamic. So while Paramount has offered, I think, $108.4 billion now to Warner Brothers, intending to buy all its assets, the TV cable networks, the streaming platforms, the TV networks, the film studios, you know. So the difference now would be that Netflix is taking part of the company, seeks to buy some of its assets, excluding the TV cable networks, while Paramount is going for all the assets of Warner Brothers. So Paramount now is not offering the shareholders of Warner Brothers any shares in its own company now. Rather, it's even placing restrictions on Warner Brothers, asking it not to, enter into any technological contracts beyond 30 million. And I think what has happened is that Warner Brothers, the board of directors of Warner Brothers, have seen a proposal from Netflix, which aligns with their own vision, with their vision for the company.
So it means they hold on, they still have some level of ownership on some other aspects of the business. They're not giving everything away.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. In fact, some of the TV networks, the TNT, CNN, are going to be spinned off into maybe another company, and that offers more value to Warner Brothers. And also considering the issue of transferring shares or offering shares to the shareholders of Warner Brothers in Netflix now, it's a form of investment for them. So it means that they have an option of getting cash, investing, and also retaining some of their assets. So I think that kind of deal is cool, and it's unlike what Paramount has decided to do, which is to just offer big money, make guarantees, make promises, and then even place a restriction on Warner, telling them not to enter into contracts exceeding 30 million.
I guess freedom can't be bought to some extent. You've highlighted some changes that will be made. For example, you mentioned something about CNN being made into another company. Is that what's going to happen? And just to extend that a bit, give us a picture of what viewers or consumers of the media that's pushed out by Warner Brothers can expect under the new ownership from Netflix, and then the side businesses like CNN that wasn't part of the deal.
Okay, so here's what I was trying to talk about. Paramount wants to buy the TV networks alongside every other asset.
Right.
Netflix is deciding to exclude the TV cable networks and focus on the film studios.
So we understand that bit. So I believe Warner Brothers has taken up Netflix's offer, from what we are saying. So under that agreement, what should consumers expect? What changes for the consumers? What changes in terms of viewership? What can we expect from what used to be Warner Brothers and what is left of Warner Brothers?
Okay, some of the changes that will happen is that, of course, the assets or the intellectual properties of Warner Brothers will now belong to Netflix, right? It means that on Netflix now, viewers can expect to see some of their favorites movies, the epic movies, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, you know, and so many wonderful movies. I think those are the expectations. Those are the things that will happen now. And then, you know, on the anti-competition aspect, there's a concern that now Netflix is going to be only about 43% of video on-demand streaming platforms. I mean, it's huge, and it raises some concerns because in the entertainment industry, you don't want a monopoly. You don't want a situation when someone has the rights or the ability to say no or give out or give in, you know, some of the things you want to watch. So I think, you know, those are the expectations. So those are the things to expect.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people also wondering why Larry Ellison's sweetener to the deal. We know there was an initial offer, then to sweeten the deal and to buy Warner Brothers' attention and go ahead, he added a little more. Why didn't that work? So, why do you think it didn't work?
Yeah, so I think the board of directors for Warner Brothers, like I said earlier, saw a better deal, saw a deal that offers them cash, an opportunity to reinvest, and an opportunity to maintain some of their assets. Also, I think part of the deal is that Netflix is also going to pay some of the debts that Warner Brothers owes, you know, so that's a unique opportunity for them. So yes, Larry Ellison has offered, you know, some guarantees, you know, personal guarantees now to make the deal work, but the entire deal Paramount has presented is structured by debt financing, which means that a lot of money are being, you know, collected from private investors, from banks and all that. And with that kind of deal, there are uncertainties. The banks can pull off anytime, you know, the investors can change their minds. Even Larry Ellison can just decide to change. So I think the board of directors of Warner Brothers has foreseen these possibilities, these uncertainties, and has decided to go with Netflix. Also, you know, Netflix has exemplified their readiness, you know, their seriousness by going ahead to speak with regulators, you know. So they are already taking steps to avoid any regulatory hurdle on the way, you know. So I think that these are the reasons why the board of directors are aligning with Netflix.
And as you pointed out, the board made a decision, but the shareholders were offered a sweeter value for, you know, per share. How are the shareholders reacting to the decision by the board?
So, well, it seems that the shareholders are aligning with what the board of directors have said. So, the board of directors can advise or, you know, try and convince the shareholders to align with either Paramount or Netflix. But the shareholders also know that the board of directors are in a position to, you know, see what they won't see the hidden deals, see the hidden implications of going into either of the deals, and they have, you know, advised them the best way, in my opinion, and they have advised them based on what they've seen. So the shareholders are, it seems they are aligning, you know. Of course, the market is quiet. There has been, we haven't seen any new changes in the shares or something like that. So it's been mute. So everybody's, it looks like
well
they're aligning.
received.
Yes, well received. It looks like they're aligning with the board. Yeah.
And we also know that not everybody takes rejection very well. Paramount's deal was rejected. What do you anticipate being Paramount's next move?
Well, perhaps they would restructure, you know, go back to the drawing board and offer a sweeter deal, perhaps, or, you know, or try and look at what Netflix has done and align their, you know, their proposal, you know, with that. And particularly because Warner Brothers seems to be aligning with, you know, the digital growth happening everywhere in the world. You know, the world is a global village now. People are leaning towards streaming platforms, you know, streaming media, as opposed to cable networks. There's a decline all over the world. People prefer to sit in the comfort of their homes and stream movies, and, you know, so there's a serious decline, you know, in that regard. And that is one of the reasons Warner Brothers is aligning with Netflix. So perhaps if Paramount, you know, changes its structure, its proposal, and aligns, you know, it's with what Warner Brothers is, looking at, perhaps there will be a change. Of course, they can also withdraw their proposal and just sit back.
Interesting. We'll be following those developments. But overall, what would you say is the message that is sent from what has happened over the past couple of months with this deal when it comes to bidding war, and consolidation trends in Hollywood?
So it has shown us that even the big guns and the big guys want to merge, they want to consolidate, they are looking for more. Everyone wants control, everyone wants big ownership. That is why you see Netflix going for the film studios, and now you see a big company like Paramount, well established, looking to own some of the biggest studios in the world. So it signals that, even the big guys, everyone is looking to expand, their business, expand their shares, expand, just enlarge their territory, so to speak. Yeah.
Okay. And we've talked about the shareholders, we've talked about the board. Let's come to the employees of Warner Brothers who have had to, witness all this shift happen pretty much on their heads. How are they handling the situation, and are they affected in any way?
Of course. In a situation like this, employers would worry about their next job. Of course, there will be some restructuring within the company. They are worrying about, control. Corporate control, who's going to be the new boss. There are a lot of issues, from the next job. Are they going to be retained? Will there be changes, with their salaries, employment, labor issues, a lot of issues, running through the minds of employers at this point. They are unsure of who their next boss is going to be. Some of them are not even sure if their job is secured. So I think, this should be the things that would be going through the minds of employers.
And finally, putting everything together, what do we expect in the next couple of months, or maybe even a year, this year, 2026, from the three parties involved?
Possibly the deal between Warner Brothers and Netflix, will happen. Will be successful, and Paramount will probably restructure, make some further attempts to take over and acquire Warner Brothers.
So this is not the end.
I don't think this is the end. Also, we'll see, because there are still regulatory concerns, around the two deals. So we'll still see what the FTC will do, the DOJ, the European Commission. We'll see what will play out in terms of the regulatory concerns, and if either of them would scale through those orders. So I think these are the things we should expect. Usually it takes about 12 months or 18 months to finalize deals like this. So let's wait and see, and let's wait and see.
All right, wait and see, and we'll give you a call to fill us in on the in-betweens. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Oluseye Abogunrin, Associate Trudo Legal. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.